Hello everyone, welcome back to the Royalty Soaps channel and the second video in the 2020 Secret Soap series. If you haven't seen the first one, you can click the I in the upper right hand corner of the screen. I will link a playlist for you because this is one of those things you definitely don't want to jump right into the middle. There is a hint at the end of every single video and well, I just don't want to spoil it. So go back to the beginning if you haven't seen it. And if you don't know how the Secret Soap series works, maybe this is your first video of mine you've ever seen. Essentially what I do is I create a soap series where I don't tell you anything about it. I don't tell you the colors I'm using, the fragrance I'm using, or the inspiration, and at the end of the month I will reveal everything, and it is up to you, the audience, to guess in the comment section what you think I have been inspired by. We will be doing a giveaway at the end of this month, so stay tuned for that, and without further ado, let us make Secret Soap number 2. Right on, right on. Woo! And I'm getting ready to make soap and I'm putting on my hairnet and my glasses and my safety everything. I should just have a tagline that's like, let's get ugly. Are you girls ready to ruin your aesthetic? I always see these beautiful people making soap on Instagram and they'll get these really professional photos done and they're in their perfectly lit studio in like, I don't know, Washington State or something. So there's dahlias growing outside and there's ivy growing inside and there's a cat in the corner and a broomstick on the wall and herbs hanging from the ceiling and their hair is perfectly, imperfectly, just a strand out of place while they hold this natural loaf with lavender and stuff on it. And meanwhile, I'm over here like, let's make some soap! Secret Soap number 2 is a big boy. It's a big batch because we're making soap in a slab, so we're making 52 bars at a time. And the colors are dark. Whenever I'm making dark colors with blacks, whites, blues, or purples, I typically don't get it right on the first time. The soap you see may not be exactly the way it ends up because I'm very picky about my dark colors. We're going to begin by pouring our lye water solution down the stick blender. If you would like to learn how to make soap, I have a teaching series that is 100% free here on YouTube. I tell you everything to buy and I walk you through all the steps to make your first 3 batches. And if you are interested in using the recipe for soap that I am using today, it is also for free down in the description box below. If you haven't noticed, I really like free stuff. All right, let's blend this up on high until just past emulsion. Now, the first thing I have to do is pour off 3 of these white pitchers. So I have my base color, and then I have my 3 accents here to the side, and it's time to start putting in all of our colorants. We're gonna add the first one into the large container. I'm gonna go ahead and add the second one in to this container closest to me. And if you're curious as to what sort of colors I am using, check out some of my other videos. I always link them down in the description box below and talk about them in the video. Here goes the 3rd color, and here goes the 4th color. Before I add our fragrance oil, I am going to blend this in with the stick blender. Now that I've mixed up the initial colors, I can tweak them because these are not anywhere close to what I want them to be. This bucket looks good right here. This bucket looks good, but these 2 need some work. Now that I've added in the extra color, I'm gonna go ahead and blend those in. These colors are almost exactly what I wanted, so now I'm going to add in the mystery fragrance oil. Now, my soap is at a pretty perfect consistency for mixing, so I'm going to move all of these containers out of the way. I'm going to place this big one in the middle, and we're going to start to drop some colors. Here's the first color that I'm going to drop. I'm leaving some to scrape out on the top. Here's the second color going in. This one's a little bit thicker. It has more colorant in it. I'm going to leave some of that to scrape on the top. We have the final color going in the opposite areas areas of where I placed the first two. I'm not leaving any of this final color to scrape on the top. All of it is going into the soap. I'm gonna spin this around a couple of times. And with that, we're ready to pour into our large slab mold after this quick commercial break. My strategy with this is rather simple. Pour into one corner to begin with, and then move it along the edges. I'm typically going to stay away from the middle part. I want those colors to mix in naturally. Awesome. Now that I have about 2/3 of it in, I'm going to add in some soap canes. It is very important that I place these straight and accurately. It's hard to replace, and it's definitely difficult to get this soap to behave after a certain amount of time. So I'm trying to do this quickly, and I'm trying to do this very accurately. My fear is always that I will place these in such a position that they get split, and we definitely don't want that, because we have 4 loaves of soap in this one little box here. But so far so good. My fragrance oil is acting a little better than it has in the past. And all in all, I would say I'm not that scared. Okay, so now that these are in, I'm gonna pour the rest of this soap on top. I'm not worried about it breaking or anything like that. It's plenty thick. In fact, honestly, it might be more of a problem that it's too thick. I am going to scrapey out my huge container. It's huge. Get all this extra into the soap. And then, using my spatula, I am going to tap this down a little bit before I beat the devil out of it on the floor. I'm gonna wait. That way those soap canes that I placed in the middle don't move. I don't want to take all that time to make sure those are perfectly placed, only to tap this down on the ground and have it move and get really lumpy and then sink to the bottom. As it is, the soap's pretty thick. Nothing's going to move that much at this point, so I'm gonna tap it down real quick. I'm gonna clean up these edges just a tiddly bit with my spatula. Now I'm going to sprinkle some of those inside colors on the top all over the place. Like I said, soap is pretty thick at this point. I originally thought I might swirl it. I wasn't super dedicated to a top design. I had some ideas, but now that I'm seeing how thick the soap is, I'm pretty determined to do a spoon texture on top, bringing all the soap into the middle of the bar. All the soap is in, so now I'm gonna go get my spoon. All right, and I'm just gonna spoon texture this a little bit to the middle. I'm not pressing down very deep at all. Right into this middle here. These are rather big bars. They're gonna be pretty tall. Anytime we add an addition of a soap cane, we do not account for that when we make the soap. In other words, we don't pull out that amount of soap from our big recipe. If all the soap canes weigh like 20 ounces together, we don't discount that from our master batch. So these bars always end up being whatever percentage bigger the soap cane is. I'm really pleased with that. That was a good move. And now, using my tea strainer, I'm going to take a special color and I'm going to tap it gently down the sides of the soap. Some will get in the middle, but I'm not purposefully trying to get it to the middle. I'm like trying to get it down the sides. All right. Ooh, y'all see that sparkle? Very gently and very strategically, I will be placing some of these down the middle. Right down the middle of the soap here, just like this. A few of them, just like the color I tapped, a few of them will sprinkle off to the side, but that's not a big deal. In fact, in my opinion, that will probably make it look a little more natural. Amazing! I'm gonna take a little bit of this and put it down the middle as well. Just down the middle, and I'm not putting that much, just a little bit. I know sometimes I go overboard with this particular ingredient, but I'm very, very particular about this soap. I have only loaded my brush once, and that is going to be enough for me to cover the entire soap. Once again, I'm only going down the middle. I'm going to spritz this soap now very gently with rubbing alcohol so that some of those ingredients don't dissolve or start to break down, and that is it. We are done with secret soap number 2. I am so incredibly pleased. I can tell you this is better than my original drawing. Everything is so sparkly and so pretty. I love the little tapping of color we have on top. And we're going to let this sit for 18 to 24 hours. Then we will come back and split this slab into loaves and cut the loaves into bars after this quick commercial break. Oh boy, you guys, this soap looks fantastic, it smells fantastic, it's everything I needed in Secret Soap number 2. So I have lined it up with my multi-bar cutter, Natasha, and I am going to press down. It is still quite pliable. I am cutting this a little sooner than 24 hours. It's at about 20 hours right now, which I find makes cutting those soap canes a little bit easier because they're still kind of moldable. The soap is still kind of squishy after that amount of time. And so if we pull a bar out of the middle, this is what it looks like on the top. Just like this. We got all those sparkles, all the stars, no ashing on this one. And on the inside, it looks like this. Now y'all know every single bar in these batches is going to look a little bit different. This one has a lot of, well, 2 different colors in it and not so much of the others. This one has a lot more of the other 2 colors. But no matter which colors control the majority of the bar, the point has been achieved. Are your creative minds working? Have you figured out the theme of the Secret Soap series yet? You will have to let me know by commenting. Well, this was a super fun soap to make, eh? I'm really curious to see your guesses about the fragrance. Which supplier do you think I used? I will give you a very small hint. The supplier that I used for this fragrance is in my usual round of suppliers. I didn't go to a supplier that you guys have never heard of before. This is one that I use often. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you enjoyed the soap making process, if you're enjoying the series, please give this video a big thumbs up. It helps us out in YouTube land. Leave us a comment with your guesses down below and over on our Instagram caption. I'm really interested to see what you guys think after seeing the second one. This bar, along with the rest of the 2020 Secret Soap series, will be available to purchase on September 5th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also may have some limited edition soaps over there. Keep your peepers open for Instagram and TikTok content. I hope you guys have an absolutely royal day. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today. Maybe listening to your favorite musician's new album that just dropped, or reading a book in a nook with a cook. Captain Hook? I'll stop, I'm sorry. And until I see you guys next time, have an absolutely royal day, and here is the second hint. Meow.